look, she said, like something about a nigga being gay or need to question himself. And then I'm going, oh shit, what the fuck am I gonna say something like that?
And then you said?
And then I thought about it, and I said, when I thought about it, I said, oh no, this bitch think I'm gay because I let her lick my ass.
I didn't think we'd be circling back to those old DL rumors about 50 Cent, but here we are. And guess who's stirring the pot this time? Allegedly, Auntie Vivica Fox is jumping right back in, loud and clear, saying 50 needs to chill with the shade and stop acting like he's squeaky clean. I don't know if these two are secretly beefing again, but if the streets are talking facts, Vivica is back on the attack. She's not holding back this time, and definitely not shielding Curtis anymore, especially when it comes to those whispers about him living that DL life.
But he's just seems like he's got something that's not quite clear. So
you mean sometimes if people protest too much about something,
yes,
there's the fire is happening right there in front of them.
Absolutely. I just never forget there was a Vibe cover with him and Soulja Boy that made me kind of go,
Let me just ask real quick. Do we even have any straight men left in Hollywood anymore? Because lately, every other day, someone's getting called out or exposed for supposedly being on the DL. And wasn't 50 Cent once crowned as the last straight man standing? So what's really going on? Now let's talk about these claims. Because to be real, these allegations about 50 aren't exactly brand new.
You know, he was absolutely the love of my life, and I have no problem admitting that. But last year, there was just some awful misconceptions about our relationship. So that's when I started the book. And I had always protected Curtis for the longest time. There were things about our relationship that I always protected it because in my heart, I always still loved him. I always will have a very special place in my heart for him.
They've been floating around for a while for anyone who's been paying attention. One of the earliest red flags, a blind item that hit the blogs way back in the day. It described a rapper, 50, griping about other rappers throwing suspect Hollywood parties. But get this, his parties were no different. The blind item claimed the $50 rapper was hosting events full of front and back hugs, real up close and personal type of vibes. And that's not even all. There was also that wild moment when singer Rufus Wainwright came forward talking about 50. He straight up admitted he had a thing for him and didn't hold back either. Rufus said, "I think he's just the sexiest and a brilliant writer, and I know he's gay." Now that quote had people doing double takes. That soft little voice of his, it's cute, no lie. Rufus Wainwright even joked, 50 Cent, feel free to call me anytime. My boyfriend and I are experts. You can come over for dinner, maybe even dessert. And just when you think it couldn't get messier, the game once threw in his 2 cents too, hinting that 50 enjoys a strong backstroke now and then, if you catch the drift. But let's not forget one of the biggest plot twists when 50 Cent tried to drag his ex, Daphne Joy, for allegedly messing around with Diddy. He went public calling her out like, she got his head, he's just like Diddy. Always. But that move backfired real quick. Daphne clapped back hard on Instagram, and she wasn't playing nice. She wrote, "We moved to New York to give you the opportunity to be a father to your son, and you saw him 10 times out of the 2 years that we lived 1 mile away from you."
And the main thing that what killed the relationship was that we just went way too public, way too fast. The love that I had for him, and still to this day, will always, like, he was the love of my life. I will admit that without any reservations. He will always have a very special place in my heart. But the reason why the relationship ended was because we just went public way too fast.
Ouch! She didn't stop there. Daphne added that she was tired of protecting an image for their son that 50 never earned, and then she lit the match. She hinted that people should be talking about how he allegedly acted just like Diddy during their relationship. And then came the real mic drop, "You are no longer my oppressor, and my God will handle you." From that moment on, Daphne made it crystal clear, whatever tiny bit of hope she had left in 50 as a father and as a man, gone. She said he shattered their hearts for the last time with those final claims being thrown around. And honestly, it all ties right back into those long-standing whispers about 50 possibly being on the DL, the same ones Auntie Vivica's been hinting at for years.
Had way too many people in our business, and if I was to have a chance to do it over, it would be that we stay private.
Let's rewind a bit. Vivica first raised eyebrows when she suggested 50 might be hiding something after he shared a shady post from @industry on Blast _. The post claimed that Empire's ratings dropped because of too many celebrity cameos and gay plots. It even added, "There are 3 million fewer viewers who tuned in to last night's Empire episode. Did you watch it? We couldn't take the extra gay stuff or celebrity stuff last night." Instead of keeping it pushing, 50 decided to repost it, and then tossed in his own slick commentary. He told Taraji P. Henson to hit him up like he had the solution. He wrote, "Empire's TV ratings took a huge hit. Okay, I'll stop now. Cookie call me, baby. I'll tell everybody to watch the show for you." That right there is when Vivica side-eyed the whole situation and started questioning what 50 was really trying to say. LOL. Right after all that heat started picking up, 50 Cent quickly deleted the post. Then his team jumped in with some cleanup, releasing a statement saying, "Mr. Jackson reposted something on Instagram that originated from a blog about Empire's ratings. Once he realized there was extra content in the blog that he didn't agree with, he took it down immediately. That post does not reflect his personal views." But Vivica? Oh, she wasn't buying it. Not even for a second. She came for him loud and proud on Watch What Happens Live, where she basically put it all out there.
My phone started blowing up, and I was like, Lord, what I do now? You know? And they said, yeah, Curtis finally said something about your movie.
Yeah.
And, I took it as a compliment. I did. I was like, that was his way of showing support. Thanks, boo.
Okay, so, but I know, let me tell you this, and I don't know if y'all remember, because y'all remember when
Vivica said, "First of all, you know the pot calling the kettle black is all I'm saying." And when they asked her to explain what she meant, she didn't hold back one bit.
50 and Vivica was dating. Y'all were dating.
13 years ago.
13 years ago.
Okay.
And I remember it was some kind of awards ceremony. You was on stage and your body was popping. And I remember Curtis, like, he was in love with you, girl. Would you ever think about getting back together with Mr. Curtis Jackson if he came? Instead?
Well, Ben and Jen did it again. Why not?
Vivica said 50 just gave off energy that seemed like something's not quite clear. Then, to make things even juicier, she brought up that magazine cover 50 did with Soulja Boy, implying it wasn't helping his case at all. She didn't stop there either. Vivica hopped on Twitter after the episode and posted, "Boom! That was from my Empire Season 2 family, y'all. Drops Mike Child." Now let's be real. Anyone who knows 50 Cent or Soulja Boy knows they weren't going to let that kind of shade slide without a response. And Soulja Boy? He wasted no time clapping back. He was the first to respond, throwing shade straight at Vivica by posting an unflattering pic of her with the caption, "Everybody hit up this cougar. She's single and ready to mingle. Granny desperate for attention." Yikes. Then 50 jumped in and took it even further. He reposted the same photo with a wild caption that had people gasping.
I've said this many times before, 50 Cent was the love of my life. He was the one that, dang, kind of blew that one. Happens. I was young, had been used to taking care of myself. 50 wanted me to be his princess, and I didn't get it.
Even though he is absolutely the love of my life, oh gosh, dating 50 Cent, was difficult. Because I really, really cared for him and I loved him very, very much.
Oh no. Now she thinks I'm gay because I let her lick my behind. LMAO. Wait, I didn't even want her to. She forced me. My hands were tied. 50 Shades of Grey. That comment went crazy online. And 50 wasn't done throwing jabs. He followed it up by posting more old photos of Vivica, one of them with a messy caption saying, "Remember when you told me, screw Halle Berry, I could have played every role she ever did better. And I just looked at you like, what did you take?" But that's not all. Behind the scenes, word is Vivica's still talking, allegedly telling people she's got more tea to spill on 50 and that he's still calling the kettle black. If the streets are right, she's not done yet and might be gearing up to drop more receipts. Now I don't know what went down between them to make Vivica pop off like this, but whatever it is, it's wild and getting messier by the minute. It's wild out here. But on the flip side, some folks are saying Vivica's only dragging 50 with these DL rumors because she's still salty and maybe, just maybe, still wants him back. Let's keep it real. Vivica's made it known multiple times that 50 was her one true love. She's been real open about it too. In one interview with Vlad, she straight up said that 50 Cent holds a very special place in her heart. So now people are wondering, are these recent jabs about exposing him or missing him? Back in 2018, Vivica sat down with Wendy Williams and didn't hold back. She admitted she was still super attracted to 50 Cent and called him the love of her life again. Then fast forward to 2023. During an interview on Sherry Shepherd's talk show, Vivica dropped another bomb. She said she'd totally be open to dating 50 again. She even compared their possible reunion to Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck's Big Love comeback. Vivica hasn't been shy. She's called 50 the love of her life more times than we can count. Girl, at this point, just let it go. We're talking about a man who straight up said he regrets they were ever a thing. 50 once posted a clip from the exact moment he made his move on Vivica during his 2003 BET Awards speech when he won Best New Artist. But the caption he dropped with it, cold. He wrote, "I look back at some of the ish I did. I gotta learn to shut up. Look at that. Look at the end. That's trouble." Yikes. And it didn't stop there. 50's taken plenty of shots over the years. Back in 2016, he clowned Vivica hard by posting her photos side by side with a mugshot of reality TV personality Raji Nareen Singh, who'd suffered from botched plastic surgery. It was a brutal comparison. In his caption, 50 said, "I don't know why people would want to cross me. I'd stay out of my way if I wasn't me, because I'm going to keep winning. I think they do it for attention. Then they get more attention than they want. I told you y'all Power was the show to watch, not Empire, LOL." It was straight up messy. But Taraji P. Henson wasn't having it. She jumped in to defend Vivica, telling 50 to use his platform to lift people up, not tear down his ex. Taraji made it clear, there's no excuse for dragging someone just to make a point. And let's not forget, Raji Nareen Singh didn't deserve to be dragged like that at all. Folks called 50 out, not just for the disrespect, but for his attitude in general. Some even said maybe that's why Power never got the kind of Emmy love that Empire did. Fast forward to Vivica's recent BBL, yep, she went and got that work done. And once again, 50 had something to say. When rumors started flying that he was thinking about spinning the block and reconnecting with her, 50 shut it down quick. His response? Hell no! The only time he showed even a drop of softness was when someone asked about Vivica's emotional comments about him being her true love. That's when he finally dialed it down a bit and admitted, "I'm never bothered by when she says that." He even said the love they shared was real and had a big impact on both of them. But still, no reunion in sight. If you really break it down, 50 once said that when they were together, the timing just wasn't right. They were both caught up in the moment, not fully aware of how much outside pressure was creeping in. He said Vivica always told him, "I would have kept it private," because things got messy when everyone else started pulling strings. Publicists were calling the shots, telling her what to do, how to move, and at some point, it wasn't even her decision anymore. That's when it started feeling all wrong. And honestly, that might explain why Vivica keeps saying 50 was the love of her life. Even just a few months ago, she said it again. But then, It gets confusing when she's also out here tossing DL accusations at him. Like, what's really going on? Maybe there's more to this saga than any of us know. Maybe it's deeper, or maybe it's just drama with no real end. Either way, we want to know what you think, so drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next wild celebrity breakdown. Catch you on the next one.